Big up everybody and welcome back to Sports Centric. I'm your host, Fully 209, and we're welcoming to the days for the first time on this, well, the second time on this channel, yeah. It's going to be a regular. Corey, how are you today, mate? Oh, why am I going so slow? I can barely hear you, you know. Oh, what's going on with this thing now? Well, anyway, yeah, we come to talk about the World Cup anyway, and the thoughts and feelings on the tournament so far. Until Corey catches up to speed, or I can hear him a little bit. I can't hear him at the moment. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the tournament so far? Hopefully, people are in the chat. What are your thoughts on this on the World Cup so far? We've seen it, but all the teams played 2 games, and I think we've got really a idea now of what the teams are going to offer as the tournament rolls on. Corey, can you hear me now? That's weird. Me or is it you? I can't hear you. Go on. Right. While Corey's logging off and coming back in again, yeah, we're going to talk about Group A and Mexico getting through that group. It looks like they've already got 2 wins already on board. Give me 2 secs. Let me see if I can sort something out because Corey seems to have frozen, it looks like. And we'll add him again. Hopefully it will set him up apart. Please work. Sorry about this. We're getting teething difficulties. It's still early on in the setup. Now I've got 2 of you. Give me 2 secs. Oh, the other one's disappearing. There we go. Give me just 2 secs. Let me see if I can get rid of that.
There's still 2 of me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking at, getting rid of one of you. And I think it's this one. Hopefully, this is the right one. Yeah, we go. I can hear you now, Corey. Oopsie, wrong one. Give me 2 secs. So it's that one, and it's this one. Give me 2 secs, and can I hear you now? Please tell me you've got some hearing now. Give me 2 secs. He's going to come out and come back in again, boys and girls. Why is it always you get tipping difficulties on these things? Look, both of you are gone. We will get there, I promise you. Sorry about this.
Modern technology, eh?
Hey, can I hear you now? Yay, we can hear you now.
It's all done. It's all good.
Oh, well.
The cost of modern technology. You go and spend some money, and yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking about the tournament, mate, and the World Cup. We're just starting on Group A with Mexico and how they've gone through. What are your thoughts on the tournament so far, Corey?
2 seconds. Yeah, it's been a bit hit and miss with some of the teams, really, hasn't it? The top teams are obviously performing, and then you get some of the lesser nations like Curacao actually showing a bit of fight.
Yeah.
Sorry, like the hydration break. You know, I've got to take 3 minutes to get some water or some Pepsi Max.
Mate, it's like it is so hot over here, man. It's like waking up in the devil's living room. It is hot.
I would sit here without my top on if I could, but I don't want to scare the audience away.
I would say the same thing, but unfortunately, this is just the way it is, isn't it? I'm going to wear my Superman top in a minute and go out for a little ride, I think. But
I think I'm going to take the pup down to the beach. Actually, probably a bit too hot outside to walk the dog.
mate, I would love to. I would love to be near a beach right now, man. I'll be straight in the sea, bro. I tell you that much.
Good old Brighton. Good old Brighton.
Yeah, it has its advantages. Let's just say that. But
I live in a very
yeah, back to
weird area as well. It's like a bowl. It kind of dips in, and I kind of under sea level, but at the same time above it, and all that hot air just gets in the middle, and it just feels like I'm cooking.
yeah.
Not like where I grew up, where it was always cold.
Right. Anyway, back to the tournament, man. Right. So yeah, the small nations like Curacao, Cape Verde, they seem to be fighting for all their worth. Yeah, and I agree with you on that. It's admirable to see them there and actually stepping up and and actually producing on the big stage, I should say. And I agree with you on the big nations. All the big nations have showed up. They've come in there and stamped their authority on, especially when you look at the likes of France, Spain. Not so much in the first game, but in the second game, you could see how levels apart they were. Portugal against Uzbekistan yesterday, you could see how far superior Portugal were. But yeah, going back to Group A, yeah, I at the start of the tournament, I actually said Mexico would get through that group, and I'm not surprised that they've gone on and won both games, especially as a home nation. But a lot of their players here weren't really recognised. You've got the likes of Raul Jimenez, and you've got the likes of a few like Quinones, but a lot of them players play in the Mexican league, so they're not really well known over here. So we're watching World Cups here. We actually get to see them over here more.
There's a few,
and they get more limelight.
There's a few Mexican players dotted around Europe, but mostly they are in the South American leagues. I mean, Brazil, Argentina, obviously Mexico. They're three very big leagues, obviously on the south coast of America. So yeah, I mean,
MLS.
I mean, you get a lot of good teams. You got obviously the Mexican team, the Pumas. They're one of the better teams in the Mexican league, and they always seem to churn out a very good player every 2 years. It's like everything seems to happen in South America, apart from Brazil. They seem to just spit out these absolute amazing players, especially little countries like Ecuador. Uruguay seems to have a good player every couple of years, and then they end up coming to Tottenham, break the legs, and then they end up not being as good as what they were. So,
we can't say about Valverde, mate. Valverde for Real Madrid, he's come out and he's playing for Uruguay in this tournament. So maybe it's just Tottenham. Maybe it's a Tottenham thing. But I agree with you. A lot of South American, and coming on to that, because we are going to mention Brazil as we go through, because I'm just mentioning Group A at the moment. But yeah, when we go to Group B and Canada, and we see how they've gone through, I would say just they're through already, but they drew their first match, and then they got a win in the second match, comprehensively in the second match when they beat Qatar.
That match was pretty filled with some really disgusting fouls. I thought that match would have ended up being called off for lack of players on the pitch, especially Kone's leg getting snapped in half, man. I was like that when I saw it live. I was like, oh, his leg, it's hanging off the other side. I was the ref not seeing this and getting like the coaches screaming on the sidelines and the referees like, oh, what do I do? Yellow card, red card? Mate, straight red, send him off. And I'm looking at.
I agree. I agree. Qatar. It looked like Qatar lost their head in that game. I fully agree with you. A lot of Qatari players, seem to have lost their. It's like one got sent off early, and then the leg break, and then even when I think Canada scored their fourth goal, the guy actually did the homage to Kone, didn't he? Yeah. He basically took his shirt off, and that's the one. So you can see that there was a kinship in Canada, and a lot of them support each other, and it's like a brotherhood, really. And I'm glad for them in Group B, because when you look at the likes of Jonathan David, the likes of Laron,
when he actually gets the chance
and of course Taylor Buchanan, who I'm a massive fan of, and unfortunately with his club career, he was at Inter Milan, then went to Villarreal, and I actually think he's still a decent winger for them.
A lot of the Canadian players seem to be dotted in like parts of Europe unknown, and then some in Italy, some in Spain. It's like you don't really see him playing in like MLS teams, do you? So yeah, I mean
No, I agree.
Jonathan David's volley was a beaut. He just read that situation straight away as a striker, didn't he? Deflection over the top. I'm going to shoot. That volley was just sweet, wasn't it? Just nestled in the net at the right time.
It was. It was, and then another one that he had, was where he anticipated the goalkeeper pushing the ball out and actually got right there after the save and actually scored the second goal that he scored. So I have to, I do like his striking. He's, how do I say it now? I do like the way that he actually
attacks the ball.
His striking instincts, his instincts as a striker, you could see it there. It was evident in that opportunity.
I mean, there's been quite a few strikers. I mean, some like I think the Caracas striker impressed me the other day as well. The way he played. I mean, who was it? Trying to think. It was Holland with what's his name? The one that should have got sent off when he played against Tottenham. What's that striker's name again? Bob. He had an absolute stormer of a game the other day. I was hoping for his hat trick. I mean, all right, Holland were always going to win that, but that was becoming a cricket score quite quickly, and then they started slowing it down a bit. I was like, carry on going. I want to see more goals.
You know, we're going to talk about that group, because that group here does need to have eyes on it, mate, because I agree with you. Holland just brushed aside Sweden, and it was just like, and you think Sweden won their first game, and you saw the connection between Isak and Gyökeres. And to see them just get brushed aside by Holland was something that we thought we would never see, but Holland just dismissed them out of sight.
I mean,
the second half, though, when Elanga came on, for me alone, when Elanga came on, Elanga changed the way they came forward. He offered them a threat, a genuine threat on the left hand side. That's what I saw. And then when I see him running at Van der Ven, that for me gave me like, whoa. And when I see him nuts Van der Ven, I was like, okay, maybe the drink break is needed for you straight away, brother. That's the kind of thing that you need to like take a step back from.
Oh,
but I was like, wow.
I'm getting frustrated by these water breaks. I know Americans need a break to tell them to go to the toilet and watch an advert for a burger or something, but fucking hell, man. When the water break comes on, it's like that. When certain wrestling matches come on that I'm not interested in, I'll just go somewhere else. Go do something else. I mean, I'm starting to love Chad Gable's like reconnaissance in wrestling now. So, I mean, anyway, back to football.
I don't blame you, man, for switching off. To be fair, when you have the water break and it's every game, but then you have to understand, it's the climate they're in, and playing in that humidity, the players are gonna need to naturally have a water break, and but the water break does become tedious, and like I say, we're lucky we're not in America because we get a cliffhanger everything you watch here on TV, and you can see a cliffhanger. That's actually a commercial break on American TV. So.
In America, they've got to plug their adverts in every 3 minutes, so go and tell them to go and buy something or go and get a gun, or that's it. Only in America.
Well, we don't want to go down that stream, but it's basically to encourage people to buy something. But I agree with you. It's every cliffhanger you see in the program. That's where the breaks come in. That's why they're there. But back to the football, we're going to talk about Group C, because we talked about Canada and the way they convincingly look like they're going to win Group B. We can't really see South Korea. I expect to go through Group A with Mexico, and Group B. I'm trying to remember who's in Canada's group, but I expect them to go through as well.
Isn't it Qatar? Oh, it's going to wind me up now. I know the other two countries are there. I can't think who it is now. No, it's eluded me.
But I expect them to get through that group. Group C now with Brazil. I haven't been impressed with Brazil, Corey, since I watched them in qualifications, and I stand by it. I'm still not impressed with Brazil. I know they won convincingly the other night, but for me, this is the worst Brazilian team in a generation. I know they've got the likes of Vini Jr. I know they've got the likes of Lucas Paqueta. They've got the likes of Casemiro. etc. But I just don't see them playing as a team. I think they play with too many individuals in that team.
They have too many look at me players, not too many team players. Going back to Group B, I think the other two teams are Switzerland and Bosnia and Hertz or something like that.
Yeah, so I think Switzerland and Canada to get through that
In
one.
this group, you got Brazil, Morocco are looking very good. Scotland, I hope they go
Oh
out.
yeah,
Can't stand the Scottish. And Haiti. I mean, thanks for playing Haiti, but I mean, I think they're what -5 or -4 or -5 goal
wow.
difference. Haiti. I feel sorry for them at the same time. Like this expanded format, I love it,
So
but at
the
the same time, I
the
look at
last
all the
matches.
nations and I'm like, should you really be playing football or rugby?
So I'm thinking the last matches here are Brazil versus Scotland and Haiti versus Morocco. And I agree with you. Morocco do look good. Morocco are, if everyone didn't know, they are the current
AFCON
AFCON champions. But that's we don't want to go too far on how they got it, but yeah, they're the current AFCON champions right now, and they do look good. I'm impressed with Barim Diaz, of course. You've got Sabari, who's just joined Bayern Munich, and you've got Hafam Hakimi as well, and then you've got Unahi. And which one?
Hakimi's awesome. I love him.
Yeah, and then we've got, is it Budawai as well, the one that Arsenal are after? So you've got quite a few Moroccan players stepping up in this tournament and actually showcasing their ability on this tournament. And like I said with Shabari, are you all right, Corey?
Yeah,
I know it's hot, mate. If you need to talk 5 minutes.
Pollen.
But yeah, I'm just talking. I was just talking about Morocco and the way that they do look good going into this tournament, and I felt that they would win this group, even with Brazil in it, because Brazil only got through as the last member of the South American contingent going into it, because they finished 6th in their group.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there hasn't really been that much from Brazil in at least 2 decades. Since what we're growing up, we've seen Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Carlos, Cafu, Dida. You know, some really good Brazilian players. I mean, back then also they weren't also individual look at me players. They were like they had the flair, but they played as a team. Whereas football's come away from that. Really, I think there's a lot of look at me players, no team players in Brazil, and how they've managed to get 4 points on the board right now. I'm sitting here like, should you really be at this like tournament when you got like the other South American teams? Paraguay and Uruguay have been absolutely tripe. But Brazil have been.
I think of Uruguay. I think it's a step too far. I think they've had a golden generation before that. You know, the likes of Forlan, yeah, and then after Forlan, you had you had the likes
Welsh.
But yeah, I think that generation, yeah, the Forlan generation, and after Forlan, you had the likes of Cavani. And then after that, now, yeah, you've got back a bit of a lull, and you've got the Darwin Nunes, and then you've got the one now. Yeah, they've got the likes of Valverde, who plays for Real Madrid, and they've got Bentancur. But something about this team, it don't have a deadly finisher for me. And then there's something about Uruguay, I just don't like the way they play. I'm not a fan of Uruguay in this tournament. Ecuador, Eder Valencia, where he's aged, and that team still relies upon him.
I mean, look at us last night when we were playing a team that we should be beating when some of their team are like over the age of 30 and putting 9 basically at the back and stopping us. I knew exactly what was going to happen yesterday, and I turned it off. I thought after 20 minutes, I'm going to do something else now.
You lasted 20 minutes, brother. I fell asleep after 5, to be fair, man. I was like watching Tottenham just on the international stage, brother. That's what I felt yesterday, man. But we'll talk about England as we go through anyway. Because right now, yeah, we were talking about Group C, D and E, yeah? Which was Morocco and Brazil, which is Group C. Then we talked about Group D, and because there's a lot of as everyone knows, yeah, there's 48 nations in this World Cup, so everybody's going to have a bit of the pie. So it's a long tournament in that retrospect.
I like
the tournament won't get serious.
Sorry, man.
Go on.
I was going to say I like the idea. The idea of the expansion. I add in other nations you never really see. You know, I'm so over the last probably 2 World Cups, I would say I've been pretty bored of it always being the same nations in there. You know. we haven't seen Italy in 3 World Cups, so we're not worried about Italy making a World Cup anytime soon. But I'm so bored of just always England, France, Germany, Spain, Brazil, blah blah blah. I like the fact that there's a Canada. I like the fact there's a, even though Turkey didn't crap, Turkey they always seem to get in. Paraguay, like little countries you never heard of, like Caracas, a little island off the coast of America that were like
Venezuela.
basically controlled
Yeah,
by
I
the
know.
Dutch, you know.
It sounds like Jurassic Park, doesn't it? When you sound, it's a small island off the coast of Venezuela, brother. It sounds like do you know what? I'm gonna save up to go to Curacao next year, man. I love the name of the country. I'm enamored by it, man. I love the way that they celebrated after getting the draw as well. After getting their goal, I mean, against Germany, I do love the way that they carried on, and that for me is one of the moments of the World Cup, that they actually scored a goal against a great Germany team. But you were talking about a team that, as you were talking here, you were saying about we're going to the big one. We'll talk about Germany right now because we're talking about Curacao. Let's talk about Germany. And I'm not impressed with Havertz. I will say it now. Yeah, I'm not a Havertz fan. I think for Germany, he doesn't really stand out for me. He's not that kind of clutch striker.
Look at the striker list they've had over the years. They've had Klinsmann. They've had
I know.
Oh, it's really going to piss me off now. Miroslav Klose, players like that. You know, Klose was like the all-time top goal scorer in the World Cup. Now Messi's turned that on its head. So,
Oliver Bierhoff. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
When you look at those names over the years, you think, yeah, good striker. I look at him and I'm like, are you in the wrong sport, mate? Did they just accidentally sign you up to play football at school or something? It's just so bad. His first touch is terrible. How he's a striker, I don't know. If he's that cumbersome with his feet, you should try him in goal. He might be better with his hands.
I thought Germany actually looked more of a threat, when Undev came on, to be fair. When he came on, at least he gave them a little goal threat. And I felt it's like...
This is what gets me.
And do you know what? I felt like...
This is what gets me with Dennis Undev, right? He spent a season and a half at Brighton and all the Brighton fans wanted him out, and now he's moved away and he's actually found his scoring boots. You're like that. Jesus, he's a completely different player to what he was at Brighton. I'm like that. Well done, lad. He actually look decent now. But like...
But do you know but in that group here, I had to say this here, and before Savage, I'm surprised Savage doesn't like Ivory Coast, man, because that team is full of men. They have big men in there, and like I said before, man like Kessie, I do like him.
I've always rated Kessie.
I've always liked Frank Kessie.
I'd have Kessie at Tottenham. I said that a few months back, and they're like, "Are you fucking for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'd have Kessie. It's great.
That man is a beast." Agreed. He is a beast and a leader. I do like Frank Kessie. And then you know who else they have here, but he hasn't stepped on the pitch. They've got Evan and Dicker in their squad, and he's not even, and he's one of the better centre halves. He's not even played a minute so far at this tournament. You've got Jan Diamande, the new wonder kid, who is fantastic, by the way, and is showcasing some of his ability. You've got Ahmad. You've got Ahmad on the other side there, who plays for Man United. I do like Ivory Coast. I think they're my dark horses for me. Them, and Japan are my dark horses in the tournament. Yeah, because Japan, I looked at the other day and I said, right, if I was Japan, I would allow teams to come onto us, and hit us and hit them on the counter attack, because they have so much pace in that team.
Do you know what gets me?
And another striker I do like is Ueda.
Yeah, what gets me with Japan as well, they still got Honda knocking around at 41 years old playing for them. I'm like, go on, Honda. You get on that pitch. Go on, lad. Come on, let's see you.
Yeah, they got Endos. I agree.
And you've got the American Japanese goalkeeper playing for them as well. And like, for how Japan are as a nation, I'm quite surprised he's managed to play for them. Putting politics aside, but it's really weird, isn't it? You're like, hang on. His mum's Japanese, but dad's American, born in America, grew up in Japan, so he's Japanese, but like the whole sort of state over there is a bit weird, isn't it? We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
But what I do like here, I do like the togetherness here. You said it before, Honda being 40. Right, but their togetherness, you can see that Japan players play for each other, and for the last few tournaments, they've been representing quite well.
Players, their fans are fantastic. They tidy up after themselves at the stadium. What other nation does that? They rock up, have a few beers,
They love
tidy
their
up
football, bro.
afterwards. If everybody was like that in the world at a football stadium, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? You know, that's what I love about the
Well,
Japanese. They're disciplined and they show respect wherever they are. So it's like they rock up, have a few
it,
drinks,
easily for
you know,
me,
make a bit of mess, and they tidy it all up. That's what I love.
easily for me, I think they're the best nation that came out of the Asia Oceania group section for me in this World Cup, because I haven't been. Australia have had one win, and Irakunda, he was very good in that one win when he scored his goals.
Mm.
But for me, yeah, in the second game, they were not very good against. I can't remember who they played, but they weren't very
USA.
good at all.
Australia,
Yeah,
USA, that was a cakewalk for Australia. So I look at Australia and I'm like, I'm not being out of order here, but you're definitely playing the wrong sport. Go back to cricket or rugby. Seriously, I'm not knocking Australia as a whole for a nation to play football, but you're definitely playing the wrong sports when you own us in them other sports all the time.
well, I will reserve my comment on that till later, because when we talk about Group G, I believe England's group is, we'll talk about that, because there's so much to talk about in this retrospect. But yeah, we talked about Germany. Let's talk about last 4 years champion Argentina, and how pivotal Messi is to that Argentina team. He is still the fulcrum in that team, where everything goes through him.
Yeah.
And all the players here, I seem to be the legs of him, but he still carries that gravitas, and he's still carrying that team and scoring and putting the ball in the back end. I don't think any other Argentinian players scored for him, to be fair, but I might be wrong on that. But
so it's literally just been Messi. So, that's what you got to look at. When Messi retires, Argentina are in the shit they really are.
But the thing is, yeah, you think they've got Lautaro Martinez, yeah, at Inter Milan. You've got Julian Alvarez, yeah, at Atletico Madrid. Yeah, basically flirting with going to Barcelona, and yet Messi is still the one, yeah, scoring the goals. So how? It's just like, oh my word, he's still carrying that country now, and it's like the last tournament, it was just yesterday. That's how good he is as a football player. I have so much. I think he's still one of the best players in the world, even today.
Yeah, I think
that's how good Messi is.
That's how I think about Messi. He will be at the next World Cup. I just have that feeling about him. I don't think he'll retire anytime soon, but he should come back to Europe, get out the MLS, stop playing in an easy league.
Well, we'll see at the time. But yeah, I do like the way that they've come into this tournament, and they're red hot already. And for me, I would put them straight up there. Do you know, I'm going to separate 3 teams that have stood out for me. One of them is Argentina, and the next team I'm going to talk about, yeah, is Spain as well. And I'm gonna and I know before, Lamar didn't play in the first game until the second half, and when he came on, there was go for it. And for the first game, yeah, I felt they didn't have any natural width until Lamar came on. Then young Buster Rhymes, yeah, Nico Williams came on later on as well, yeah, and the game changed, but they still got the draw. And in the second game, yeah, they comprehensively slapped the team 5-1.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I know Lamel and Williams weren't exactly 100% for the first game, because Lamel was still carrying the injury from Barcelona at the end of the season. Williams still had his G-string, hamstring problem that he's had for years going on. So, yeah, that was bugging both of them. But, yeah, I mean, I look at both of them. That is literally everything they need to go forward. I mean, you can't knock the youngster. 18, 19 years old, World Cup. You've also got young Paul Chalabala, or the young Barcelona centre back there at 19.
Mm-hmm.
When people talk,
Pau Kabasi. Pau Kabasi.
He's such a good player. It's ridiculous. The kid's like, what? His first international cap was when he was 17. for Spain.
Agreed. Yeah.
So he's already been there 50 games at the centre back
Mhm.
for Spain. He's the first choice centre back at Barcelona.
I believe he is. Yeah, at 17, man, he was playing in the Champions League at 17 years old. That's how good he is as a centre back.
What
He
was
is.
I doing?
So when you hear that people talk about age, yeah, right? There's levels, man. When you look at, he's only
Well,
17. He's
you look
really
at
leading.
youth academy that Barcelona have. They always churn something out of La Masia every 6 to 8 months.
Agreed.
You know, at the start of the season, there'll be this kid coming through, and in the season, you'll see him for a couple of games, and then the season after that, he's a first team player. There's always something coming out of La Masia, isn't there? It's like, really?
Yeah, agreed.
It's
It's a non-stop conveyor belt, mate. And the thing is, yeah, the players who don't make it, yeah, they actually get moved on and actually generate money into the football club as well, which is something that Man City adapted and something that Chelsea adapted as well. So, but I do like the way that Spain near enough incorporates most of the majority of the Barcelona team into their team. So the players know each other, not just on a domestic level, but on an international stage as well. So they can read each other's game.
I think most.
The only problem I see with Spain is that while they have Lamal and they have Nico Williams on the width, yeah, the only thing I always say about Spain is at some point I feel like they lack a clinical marksman, a proper number 9 to put. And Yarzabal is a good player.
Torres hasn't played too bad for them. He's scored 3 and 2. It's not bad. I mean, Cucurella, he's had an actually electric World Cup so far, and he's off to Real Madrid. So my dream team's going to come for next year because I won't be able to pick Sideshow Bob in my team. So I sit there, I'm like, most of the Spanish players are all playing the same league as well. Around about 90% of that team is all in and around that league. So yeah, it's just fantastic. Like what a country can do to generate players. You've got most of these kids come from Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona's academies. A few other smaller academies that always seem to every couple of years bring out a good player. But yeah, I mean, Spain have got it right for how they actually bring these youth kids in and actually properly apply them in a first team. Whereas other countries suffer, especially over here in England. Every now and then you might have someone, they call them generational talents, but you don't really see it as much. I mean, I haven't really seen that many good youth team or youth level players come out really since Kane was us. Lewis.
Rashford, you could put it at Man United.
We have generators, but not on the level of say like Germany and Spain. Germany and Spain always turn over another youth kid every year. I mean, Germany have got that Bayern Munich, that youngster.
Leonard Carr.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, what a player he is. And I'm saying, I'm kind of jealous of the level some of these nations turn out these youth players. I'm like, fuck, I wish that was us. Look at that! Come on, Kane.
But the thing is, this is what the World Cup does, though, isn't it? This is why I love the World Cup so much. Is that it highlights each nation, yeah, and it highlights the young players that they come out from, names that you didn't expect, yeah, to shine. Have actually come out and actually stood up as well. Like I said, this is the ultimate shot window before the tournament starts. It's the ultimate shot window for these players. They come into the tournament, yeah, and they come with a point to prove, and so they always showcase their ability. Like with Germany, yeah, you had the likes of, unfortunately for Leonard Carly, I don't think he made, I'm not sure if he's in the Germany squad. I hope he is. But you've got the likes of Pavlovic coming through there. You've got the likes of Felix Nemeka as well, who's actually had a very good tournament for Germany in that midfield. He's a player I would love at Tottenham Hotspurs, yeah, because he actually is a complete midfielder. He can not only be defensive, but he can actually bring the ball forward and progress the game as well. So this is what I said earlier before the tournament, yeah. This tournament will showcase players, yeah, that people might not have expected in positions that they might not have been aware of. And so it's done that for a lot of fans as well, because this, like I said, the World Cup is only second to the Olympics for me.
Yeah.
And
the World Cup,
like you said,
because the Olympic teams are very weird, aren't they? They have to pick certain players at a certain age, and only so many players over a certain age can be in there. So
yeah,
the Olympic team are a bit on and off, in and out kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, the World Cup always delivers us something to really get our teeth into, like a lesser nation upsetting one of the big dogs, or but it's kind of like the joy of the Rovers, isn't it? When you see a lesser nation like hold Spain to a draw, or Curaçao taking a point the other day as well. You're like, Jesus Christ. I mean,
Cape Verde fought tooth and nail, man.
Cape Verde, wasn't it? It's like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Agreed. Once you think they concede, yeah, you think, you know what, the nation would lie down. No, they fight back and they keep going. And that is so admirable to see them keep on fighting. It's like when you watched, I believe it was another one I saw. DR Congo, my man.
Dominican Republic.
The way that they, and Wissa, the way they fought against Portugal, that was tooth and nail. But we'll talk about Portugal at the end because that's one of the last groups here with England and that. But we're going to talk about my nation right now. We're going to talk about France.
Not just your nation, my nation as well. I'm part French too, my friend. Your nation. Not the only one that's got French blood in your friend.
I'm going to talk about the main man, Mbappe.
Parlez-vous en français?
Oh, we miss it. But I'm going to talk about.
I won't bother with French then.
How great this man actually. You know what? I sat and watched the first game. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't watch the second game against Iran. But the first game, against
anybody finished watching that game?
Oh, let me get it right.
I watched that game. I was like, oh, it's a storm. Just let them play. Fuck it, whatever. And I realised storms in America are storms, not like we go over here.
Yeah, they are.
It goes away, but like, they have like a protocol over there. They wait for a thunderstorm to pass, and they've got every time if they hear thunder or see lightning, they have to restart the clock. Can you imagine that? Yay, we're about to get back indoors, boys. Back indoors, another half hour. I was waiting for that one to like really trickle on before they just say fuck it. I was like, oh yeah, I was really getting into that match. And oh look, we're stopping for a bit of rain. I was like, oh shut up, a bit of rain. And then you see the rainfall like in America. Compare that to here. You're like, okay, I can understand now.
Yeah, well, over there, yeah, it actually does proper comes down, yeah. But what I do love over there, yeah, is that it dries real quickly. Though, if you're in a certain, so you'll have like 5 minutes to torrential rain. But it's you know when you watch like Back to the Future 2, that kind of stuff there, it proper dries real quick, man. That's what I do love over there. Because like I say, I'm from the West Indies, yeah, which we've got the same climate as they have in America, near enough for some parts of America. And when it rains in the West Indies, it actually dries very quickly as well. But what I was saying is France and against let me get it right, Senegal. In the first game, yeah, when Senegal scored and it was 2-1, you see, if you watch Mbappe, he just said, calm, wait a minute. Within 10 seconds, he does his shot, yeah, and it was just unbelievable.
That shot,
but that was the first day.
But a lot of the goalkeepers are moaning about this ball because there just doesn't seem to be any movement in the way it curves. Pickford moaned about it. A couple of the other nations have moaned about this ball. I mean, every World Cup, the players moan about the frickin' ball. Boys, go save it. Go on, keep it out of the net. That's your job, blood. You know?
But it's not like they don't play with the same ball, yeah, right? In practice sessions, they do. So you should be used to the ball by now.
They have the same balls at practice, but every World Cup. I mean, what was it? The African World Cup, where the controversy of the ball there that has too much curve. I can't get to the ball. Oh, shut up.
But you train with me in the training session, so how can it be how can it be any different? This is what I mean by it's like a narrative has to come out just to protect the goalkeeper from having a shocking performance or shocking something. It's like, oh my god, why do you have to find an excuse? Yes, the ball
when they just moan that the ball curves too much, or it doesn't curve enough, or I was having the argument the other day in the WhatsApp group when two defenders are in front of a goalkeeper and the goalkeeper doesn't have a lot of time to react. He gets his hand to it, but it still goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a goalkeeper. Ask me how I feel when two people are blocking my view and I can't gauge where I need to be.
Agreed.
Goalkeeper did everything
Agreed.
right.
You're blocking the
Protecting his
eye.
near
You're
post.
blocking the line. That's
The
fine.
goalkeeper did everything right, protecting his near post while taking 2 steps away from it. That's how you're supposed to do it. You know, you make yourself big. You're protecting your post in case it goes down that way, and you're making yourself as big as you can in the net. And the goalkeeper's what, 5'8", 5'9"? It's like Bartes height.
Agreed. And everyone's in his line of sight as well. So man can't see the ball. And I agree with you. Yeah, it wasn't his fault per se for that incident.
He got his hand on it. If he was a little bit taller, maybe he would have had a little bit more of a reach. But when people are like going, this goalkeeper's doing this goalkeeper's doing that. Hello, I'm a fucking goalkeeper. I can tell you what's going on right away.
Agreed. People just have to put it into perspective. Unfortunately, yeah, there were so many players in front of the goalkeeper, right, and they could take wicked deflections into there. So really and truly, anything could have happened. But yeah, I was talking about France, yeah, and Mbappe's first game where he showcased his ability. The second game, he scored another 2 goals against Iran. Unfortunately, I couldn't really see the game.
His second goal on his weaker foot. That's one of the ones where they were moaning about the flight of the ball. It just didn't move. It just went like that. He cut in on his weaker foot, banged it, but the ball didn't move. It looked like it was lost in time, the ball. It was like stopped. I felt like every millisecond it was stopping to ask for directions on which way the net is.
It was on his way home, brother. On his way home. Well, I'm gonna say
into the onion bag.
But yeah, I was just saying about yeah. So France look like they're gonna cakewalk it into the next round. And that brings us to also the Mbappe was the first night of the Golden Boot, I believe, because you had Messi come out first of all, put down his well, you could say Balogun started it.
Hat trick on his first
but
game.
Messi with his hat trick. Then you had Mbappe with his 2. And to follow suit, you also had, we were talking about earlier, Harry Kane come with his 2 for England in his first game against Croatia. Now, Corey, I've said this about Croatia, and I think it for a few nations as well. Switzerland may be one of them. I feel it definitely with a few other nations, but Croatia, I feel like it's the end of an era for them.
Definitely.
I feel like they are at crossroads where the young players need to come through for them now, and the older statesmen have to like move aside. No disrespect to them; they're still good quality players, but I just feel like there's a shifting of momentum towards the Croatian team. I think that team had
Also,
the 2018 vicious cycle.
It also comes down mostly on the Croatian FA here, because apart from Dynamo Zagreb, every now and then, like every 2, maybe 3 years, they come out with like 2 absolute superstars. I mean, we got Modric from them. I mean, they churn out youngsters. I think we got Vuskovic from them as well. There's either Dynamo Zagreb or one of them over there, but there isn't a lot of there isn't a lot of top quality teams in that Croatian league, and it seems to always be like a very one-sided division over there as well. So unless these teams are really churning out top talent, I mean, it's an end of a generation. I mean, Modric, you know, he won the Ballon d'Or a few years ago. He's now 40, and it's a shame to see Modric, you know, lose a bit of himself as he's got older. Again, I mean,
I agree with that.
A lot of
I agree. It's like watching South Korea, yeah, and you watch Sonny. Sonny's a good player, but he's reached the end of that cycle for me where I don't want to see him like that.
No, I remember Sonny.
I remember him,
not how he is now.
Right, and that's the same thing I feel with like you just said with Modric. I've seen the best versions of Modric at Real Madrid and at Tottenham Hotspurs. Now you're seeing a player winding down his career. And yes, I hope Croatia get through their group, because really and truly, they are the strongest team in that group, other than England. Yeah, because Ghana, while Ghana have a lot of individual players, you've got the likes of Semenyo, of course, and players like that in there. for me, they're not as strong as Croatia, so I still think Croatia will get through along with England. But I just can't see Croatia getting anywhere other than the knockout stage, first round of knockout stages, and then they're going home.
I have a
Because I
suspicion that
just see
it's
that
going to be a
team.
draw between Ghana and Croatia. I just think Ghana have a little bit more in midfield, especially with how dynamic most South African players are as well. They have that burst of speed and pace that most nations don't seem to really produce, do they? I mean, it seems to be like they're very talented footballers as they're learning how to run.
It's the power I love. It's the power I love, you know. It's when you see them running at people with power, and you just see the defenders backing up. It's like when you watch Yandy Amande, yeah. He's a young man, but when you look at him, yeah, he's got so much pace and power, yeah, that you have a defender's back on their back foot, and they're already frightened about what he might do next. And that's the bit that I do love when you watch African players. And I've seen it a few times here with players of speed. And Ghana have it with Semenyo, where you're running at a man, yeah, and you just watch this man just like back off, back off, back on. It's like you're encouraging him to just have a go at you. I agree with you in that. It may well be a draw, but I just feel Croatia will just have enough to get through against Ghana. I just feel they will.
I don't know.
But maybe I'd love you proven wrong.
I think it's either going to be a very sloppy 1-1 draw or Ghana just edge it. But then I feel like Croatia still go through as one of the best third place teams because they haven't really picked up any yellow cards. Their goal differences slightly better than others as well. I mean, this extra format where the 8 best third place teams in these groups go through in their own little knockout stage while we wait for everybody. It's not a bad format to have, but it's just a way of milking more money out of people. That's the way I feel. But I do love the expanded format of this World Cup, having 48 teams instead of 36. It feels it's actually like a proper summer thing now, whereas in the past it's over within 3 weeks and everyone's pissed off that England hasn't won anything and back to square one waiting for the Premier League to start.
I'm not going to say anything because I dropped it in the group chat this morning, yeah, for everyone out there. I dropped it in the group chat. I said, look, every time there's a tournament, yeah, we hear it's coming home, yeah. Since It's Coming Home was released in 1996, France have won the World Cup twice, yeah, and Spain have won it once.
Spain have won it 3.
And they've caught England and actually, yeah, they've won it once. They won in 2010.
Oh, they won the Euros twice, haven't they, Spain?
Yeah, they've won the Euros twice, but they've won the World Cup once since. And you look at it, you think, mate, it's not coming home. These teams have gone past you.
Oh, no.
And it's only
we had a new song, but the guy retired from running the country, so we can't sing that song anymore.
Fair play to you, man. But let us go into England, yeah, because oh my word. I before the tournament now, I did say this, and I hope people watched the last videos on this, but England were bad before the tournament. They bore me. They're like watching Tottenham Hotspurs. I watched funny enough, yeah, me and you watched the game together. The last match before the New Zealand game we watched together. All right, and
well, with me with a few drinks in me, I was like, this is boring and we lose. So I was like, if this is how we're going to play, I'm not going to bother watching England. Went outside into a certain person's garden, grabbed the burger, come back indoors. Actually said
I just had to go home, man.
Talent or something, because this isn't going to happen.
Well, I just had to go home, my friend, and make a 2-hour ride on a train rather than watching England play. That's how bored I was at halftime, but I thought less of that. Yeah, I'm going to go home. I think I'll enjoy the train ride home, man. It'll be a lot more interesting than watching England. That's how bad it was. And I didn't really miss anything, to be fair, because the game was it played out the same way. But yeah, we're talking about the tournament itself. Yeah, Ghana against Croatia. Yeah. I felt, like I said, Croatia were aging. England scored first and then Croatia scored the equaliser. Then England scored again. Croatia equalised again, 2-2. And in the second half, England powered through. And they won 4-2. Now, last night's game, yeah, I felt that Ghana set up properly and England couldn't break them down. I don't think they had the creativity because a lot of
Ghana played in a 5 at the back low block with four midfielders in front of them and a striker up top. So how to start?
Break it down.
9 people in front of the goal, and unless someone
like Gordon wakes up and realizes you actually need to cut in instead of taking your man on, you might actually get somewhere. Every time Gordon,
Well, unfortunately, that's something my man will learn at Barcelona.
I mean, I feel like the game
Go
picked
on.
up when Rashford come on. I mean, I'm like, we're really missing something here. We need something a bit more dynamic. And then Rashford come on, it's slightly changed. It got a bit better. Rashford had a couple of chances. Shame they didn't go in. Kane was quiet the whole fucking match. It's like watching him.
Yeah, but that for me,
He goes wandering in big matches unless he scores a goal.
I told you
I'm
this.
sat there like, Kane's quiet. Take him off. Bring someone else on. Stop relying on Kane. Bring someone
Agreed.
else on. Bring someone else on.
Agreed.
Then they bring on young Rodgers, which he did nothing in the whole game. I'm just saying, like, some of the choices as well, like players picked for this World Cup, taking fucking Jordan Henderson. What a waste of a space. I mean, if you wanted to bring Jordan Henderson, have him on as a coach, not a player. Give that spot to someone that
when you got like a Cole agreed. I very much agree with you. When you got the likes of Palmer, who's at home,
Lewis Hall,
you got the likes of Gibbs White, who's at home.
We needed more left backs, and we didn't bring Lewis Hall with us. Sorry,
Agreed.
Jordan Henderson, Lewis Hall. I think we've got 3 like wing backs technically in our team, with obviously Jedi Spence last night by not shaking a certain player's hand. I loved that. And then you've got obviously, who else is in that England team? James O'Reilly or whatever his name is from Man City, the youngster.
Oh yeah, Matt O'Reilly. Yeah,
O'Reilly. I think he's a quality young player. I think he should be starting over James, to be honest with you. I think James is pretty much done because he doesn't really do much when he's on.
His injuries have done him damage, though, isn't it? With Reece James, the injuries at certain pivotal moments of his development, have. But he's a very good player. But injuries have impacted his career massively for me.
They have.
I don't feel
like O'Reilly and Lewis Hall would be better suited for us with Jed Spence as the guy that comes on to change things around. And I'm sitting there like, right. Now James should Jed should literally get a knighthood when he comes back for not shaking a certain player's hand. And then in the interview when he turned around and said, I don't believe I should be shaking people's hands that are convicted of these crimes. I'm like that. Well done, lad. Well done. If I was king, mate, I'd be knighting you straight away. Sir Jed Spence.
I'm not getting involved in that one. That one I leave to Jed Spence, mate, to talk about. But I just looked at England, and I'm just thinking. My prediction before the tournament, was they'd be lucky to make the quarterfinals, and I'm going to stick with that prediction. I think they'll be making. I think they'll make the quarterfinals, but I don't see them getting any further. I think they'll run into a big fish here, and then it'll be game on. Because I don't like the way they set up under.
If we finish first, have you seen how the table works and what teams are playing who? So
no, who's predicted to play England?
England, we finished this. Mind you, we finished first. It depends on who finishes in the group lowest, but waiting in the next round after that, Argentina. So we've got to play 2 South American teams because I can't remember who's the second team that is there, but they're actually winning their group. I can't remember who it is. So basically, we've got to play 2 South American teams to hopefully make it to the semis. So it's all going to come crashing down when we can't beat Argentina, isn't it? So
I think so, man. I think we're going to hit Eva Peron again, mate. Don't cry for me, Argentina, brother. I feel it again. And it's you have to double and triple up on him, mate, to keep him quiet. And then even if he did that, he would still find a way. That little magician would still find a way to have a controlling influence in the game. And do you know what? I do like the way that Americans take into the start of football, man. You can see it in every single game. The amount of anticipation they have, it's like they draw breath when they see the player about to do something. Like the other night with Mbappe, when he scored his goal, it's like the whole stadium took in a hail of breath, and they were just waiting for it to happen. And as we talk about that kind of stuff, we're going to talk about Portugal, because that's what I felt yesterday when they beat Uzbekistan was when they scored, when Ronaldo finally scored, yeah, it was like the whole stadium just breathed out. It was just like, wow. All of you waited just to see Ronaldo get here. But for me, I still stand by what I've always said. I feel Ronaldo holds Portugal back. I think because he is the fulcrum and everything is fed through Ronaldo, I still think that it's stopping players from being themselves, yeah, and just being able to. But do you know what I did like yesterday? Yeah? Nuno Mendes' free kick, where Ronaldo was standing there and he looked like he was going to take it, and then Mendes came along, yeah, and just hit it. That was funny to see because that's when Uzbekistan was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean,
but what are your thoughts on Portugal?
Portugal, I agree with you. I mean, I've been one of Ronaldo's biggest fans for his whole career, but for his nation, he definitely does hold him back because there have been some pretty baller players I've been over the years behind Ronaldo that I thought if you'd just given them a little bit of a chance, maybe they might show more than Ronaldo's doing. But Ronaldo always comes up with a goal somewhere.
Agreed.
But it's going to be this is what's going to happen though. Like in the next couple of years, it's going to be a bit of a downfall in football. I feel when Ronaldo and Messi both retire, two of the greatest that we've seen in the last 20 years. Since I was a kid, there hasn't really been two players that have fought tooth and nail against each other and actually been standouts for their nations. But also, Ronaldo has also hindered players coming through and his ego, blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a sad day when you see Messi and Ronaldo have retired and you can't watch them anymore. I mean,
agreed. It'll be the end of the era.
I was upset when Pete Schmeichel retired. That's my hero. I'm a Tottenham fan, but Pete Schmeichel was my hero. When he retired, I cried a little. I was like, "Oh, not Pete." I was like, "Fuck."
Well, man,
When Buffon retired as well, I was devastated. Calm, absolutely.
Oh.
Those three goalkeepers I wanted to emulate as a kid. That broke my heart when all three of them retired. I was like, "Oh man." I know you got to retire at some point, but give someone some hope.
Yeah, but at least they were there in it for people out there to see them in it, and that's the benefit of watching them. And over the years here, see how long their longevity lasted is, and especially I'm fortunate. I got to see Michael come through in 1992 with Denmark here win the European Championships. With Buffon, yeah, because I follow Italian football, I got to see the majority of Buffon's career, supposedly starting.
God, everybody, what's going on? We're having a mare. Yeah, Buffon, I was going to say, made his international and club careers at 16. So, I mean, you can't give any more. I'll fill the space and the void while I'm waiting for Philly to show back up. But while we're talking about this group with England in, it's a very tight group. You've got Croatia on 3, Ghana on 4, England on 4. Could be anybody's spot really at the top. Then you've got the group for itself where there's 12 teams that are playing for the 8 spots for the best placed position for third place. So you've got Sweden on 3 points, Scotland on 3 points, Croatia, Algeria, Paraguay all on 3 points. Cape Verde on 2 points. And the big disappointment so far in this World Cup, Belgium. 2 draws.
Oh, wow. Do you know what? Thank you for putting up Belgium. You know what? They have been really bad. They were
disappointment that team has been this year.
Do you know what I said about Croatia? Do you know what I said? There were other nations I felt like Croatia, yeah, where it's a changing of the guard moment. I feel the same way about Belgium. That's exactly how I feel about Belgium. I feel like they've come to a crossroads.
Belgium haven't won nothing in the last 10 years of the players they've had. It's a shock.
But it also tells you about Roberto Martinez, yeah, the Portugal manager right now, that he had so many years of like golden generation, yeah, he didn't get him over the line to win any tournament. And you're thinking of the likes of Lukaku in the back, finishing for opportunities, the likes of De Bruyne, the likes of. But there are some players I do like the Kuiper. I do like the Kuiper. Charles de Ketelaere. I do like Charles de Ketelaere. But there's a lot of players who don't really get their chance to shine. I still feel with Belgium, yeah, I feel I need to move away from the older statesmen, yeah, and start building something new. Because a lot of their players here not only play in the Belgian Pro League, but they've also made their way to Serie A. You've got Atalanta with a few of them. Tottenham had a contingent back in the day.
Quite a lot of the Belgian contingent now seem to be playing in Italy, Germany. There's not that many in France anymore. I mean, the France league used to be saturated with Belgian players, and now there just isn't there. Obviously, the Premier League got quite a few Belgian players, and quite a few of them seem to be playing for Brighton. So,
I'm
just going to sit here like it's a shock to see a once good nation like that. You know, their golden generation crumble and get old. We had it here with England when we had Beckham, Gerrard, and Lampard who couldn't play together in midfield.
Germany had it, mate.
Scholesy, who I always thought was better than Gerrard and Lampard. Sorry, Gerrard and Lampard. And I think Carrick's still better than Gerrard and Lampard. So the only reason why Gerrard and Lampard were really picked was for goal scoring output, not control of the midfield. We obviously had Ashley Cole, Gary Neville, Sol the traitorous Campbell, Ledley King when he could play for England.
Yeah, but then you also had Rio Ferdinand. You had later on Rio Ferdinand adding to that with his. So the generation, I agree with you. I agree with you. I very much agree with you. The generation that was there was a golden generation, and for me, it was a crime that, like we said about Belgium, yeah, it's a crime that the English generation didn't win anything with them top players around. And it's a crying shame for like Harry Kane as well, even in this tournament. Because I feel like this tournament, yeah, I don't think Harry Kane will make it to the next one. I would love to be proven wrong.
He's only 33 next month. No, 34 next month. So he could make the next World Cup.
I just don't see it.
I have this fit. I want to see. I sound bad when I say this. I want to see the World Cup every 2 years, not every 4. I would love to see a World Cup every 2 years.
Problem with doing that, yeah, it's intermittent though, isn't it? It's like the Olympics. They try and make it that 2 years. So the World Cup's one every 2 years, and then the Olympics is the other 2 years, isn't it? So they're trying to make it like that, so they're not separating the same year.
I'm greedy. I want to see the World Cup more. So I want to see the World Cup every 2 years. I want to see the Euros every 2 years. I want to see as much football as I can.
It does work out that way, to be fair, yeah. So you've got 2 years now, yeah, between the World Cup here, and then you've got 2 years time. You've got the Euros, and do you know what I love as well? Yeah, so we know that and we're going to do shows on this as well. So please stand with us. But let me see. There's a comment in the chat. Let me have a look. I think I can't really see it. But yeah, what I was saying, yeah, was I can't see the comment, so there you go. But thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully, please feel free to write on your comments in the sections. We'll get back to you and we talk about any comments you have. Please also put your thoughts and feelings down as well on the different teams we're talking about, because we could be talking and you might have different opinions to us, and that's what we want on this channel. We want people with different opinions here so that we can actually have good debates on here. So please feel free to comment in the tournament sections and test our knowledge on things like this. But yeah, continuing with the thoughts on Belgium, I feel like it's a coming of age for that group, and I feel like they need to move aside the likes of De Bruyne and concentrate on the likes of Alera and that generation. But I still feel like they're still mixed up with the outgoing.
Young De Cat as well. He's fucking phenomenal in the Belgium. He's 17. He's 18 this year, but when I look at a young player and I compare him to what our young players are, I was like, I wish we had him. I wish we got him. You've got Vasilis, I can't pronounce his name, Vasilusius or something like that in the Belgium league as well. There are some very, very good young players in the Belgium league in itself. Obviously, the Belgium league is also ranked in the top 10 leagues in the world. So they do get the talent there. And I mean, a lot of
what Brighton do when they try to get work permits is they bundle off players to the Belgium league for a season.
Mhm.
So that's what happened with McAllister. He couldn't get his work permit straight away. Tony Bloom also owns a team out in Belgium and sent him there for a year. So
Yeah, yeah.
the rest is history. I mean, you got to look at it that way. Like, these
Okay.
teams know how to feed players in to get their work permits when they know that someone's special there about it.
I agree.
And there are so many good young players scattered in the Belgium league alone that I sit here and I'm like, yeah, he'd do well in the Premier League, he'd do well in Germany, he'd do well here, he'd do well there. There are just so many players littered throughout that league. It's ridiculous. Obviously, you got your 4 big nations in England, France. No, sorry, not France. England, Germany, Spain. Insert France here. I mean, all it is PSG. I probably would put Italy there because
I would have to put the Kings. I'd have to put Monaco in there because Monaco have got some decent players. You've got Akalusha, obviously, but then you also have for Monaco Balogun, who has been the star of the United States and scored 2 in his first game. And he also got but you know what? But at least But you know what? You know the mad thing is here. The man scored 13 goals last season. The same, and that's the Pigeons.
Same as Richie.
No. In his record-breaking season, my friend. Let's not forget that caveat. So he scored 13 goals last year. The Pigeons' record season is 13 goals. So let's put the perspective on Balogun is still a top player. He doesn't play for PSG, but so Monaco are still in there. You've had Marseille come in there, but French football is having like a little renaissance. It might be undercover, but it's still there. You've got Marseille, you've got the Monaco, and you've got PSG, obviously European champions. And all of that mixture comes into the French, because this is what I was impressed with France at the beginning of the tournament. It's the three midfielders behind Mbappe. I looked at all 3 of them and I said all of them look like they can interchange between each other. You've got Doué on one side, you've got Cherki, and then you've got Akliouche. That's what we're playing. Yeah, but Rabiot and Tchouameni are like the injuries behind it. So like they're the screen, and the 3 creative ones Elise has been my star of the World Cup so far. While I love Mbappe, obviously he's the main focal point for France. Elise, has surprised me in this tournament, Corey, because when you watched him at Crystal Palace, you'd be mistaken to think he was just a right winger. But the way that he can transform and play in the centre of the pitch as well, I am impressed with at least his passing abilities. I'm impressed with how he sees his teammates and knows and can control a game from them as a 10. And I like the way that all 3 of them interchange and swap with each other. So you're not even sure which one to pick up, because 1 minute one could be on the right hand side, next minute one could be in the centre, and next one could be on the left hand side. And this is what can scare defenses, because they're not so certain which player to actually mark out the game. And all 3 of them are looking to find the ball into Messi and all Mbappe. And all 3 have the ability to do that as well. I nearly did it. Messi and Mbappe. Sorry, people out there. But it is really hot, though. That's the problem. That's my excuse anyway. It's really, really hot here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about
Ventura right now on the rhinoceros.
It is so, mate. I feel like I've got the devil in my living room. That's how hot it is. It is burning, roasting hot.
My puppy is conked out on his bed. That's how hot it is.
I would pass out here, but
he's normally running around causing terror, my dog. But
even he knows, it's too hot, man, to be running around causing any mischief with one of them ones, bro. It's just moving.
I've got a more normal body temperature feels like the last few days.
It's one heat wave and a half, isn't it? But at least no one could say that we haven't had a summer. We've had no one could turn around and say that England haven't had a summer. You've had a summer. It's just a heat wave.
You know what happened now? We'll have this heat wave, and then when my son's off school for holiday, it'll be cold and wet. Hey.
You had your summer already. You're just at school, mate. Unfortunately, so you can't enjoy it. Hey, I can hear that. That's the law, man. But
I don't get how schools are open in this fucking heat wave. I feel sorry for my son sitting in a room that's got no air conditioning and no airflow going to his schoolroom.
yeah, but
I've
at
never
least
heard of schools like that.
open the window.
Don't
Open the
run out!
window.
You'll run away. Yeah, of course I will go home.
It's got to be something more than this. But
This. What? He's asleep on the table. Oh, it's heat stroke.
you mean it's that hot, man.
It's when
But
you're sitting there at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's still 25 degrees. You're like, give it over. I want to sleep. Go sleep in a cold bath. As you're rolling the water, it's coming out bloody warm anyway. You're like, pointless.
But we back to the World Cup here. Right? Do you know? I'm looking forward to the knockout stages. That's when the tournament starts for me. It's when it's when it lose and go home. That's when the tournament starts in earnest for me, and this is what I'm waiting for. And you put it up earlier, yeah. If England make it through their group here, if they win their group, they get Argentina.
That's if we get through the quarterfinal game. But this is going on if we finish first. Argentina are going to win their group anyway, but
Easily,
I can see why we shouldn't win our group because we're playing Panama, for God's sake. But if we can't beat Ghana, I can see it being a draw against Panama for some reason because our players are that shite. I mean, I'm looking at it now. Like, who's the next goalkeeping talent we have here in England? And don't tell me it's Trafford.
It is Trafford.
Please don't tell me Trafford is what is going to take over from Pickford.
It is Trafford.
I really don't rate Trafford. I think he has howlers every other game. I wonder why City want to get rid of him
again. Well, City bought him, right? City bought him for a reason, didn't it? But
yeah, then they went and got a certain Italian.
Yeah, I know, Donnarumma, the same window as well. It's like, what was the point in you buying Trafford? And you knocked Newcastle out of the race, because Newcastle were going to have him as their number one, to compete with Pope. So it is what it is.
As a goalkeeper, I'd take Pope at Tottenham right now. But then we've gone out and got the
but then I know the new Joe Hart, my friend. I agree with you. I looked at that and I said, I said, this is Joe Hart all over again, isn't it? This is the same thing we did with Joe Hart. We bring him in as a sub goalkeeper, and then we're going to promote the sub goalkeeper to be number one. Well, first and foremost, there is no hatred of Kinski before people say that. He's a decent goalkeeper. He had 6 quality games, but that is such a small sample size here to build it around the whole season with Kinski in goal. That's my issue.
Had high praise from Petr.
I don't think he's
got high praise from Petr Cech, so I think I'll listen to Petr Cech's take on a goalkeeper before I start listening to other fans. Sorry.
It doesn't mean no. It doesn't mean that I'm not saying he's a decent goalkeeper. I just don't think he's the level to take us there now. I would give him a few more years and then see him over a longer period of time.
We go back 25 years. Was Buffon ready at 16 when he stepped up?
But man was playing for Parma, Corey, and he actually gradually got better and better. But first and foremost, you have to give them time to come in and do that. What I'm looking at is 6 games, Corey. To build that of 6 games is an incredible risk to be taken. That's the reason why I wouldn't have him as number one.
We have to really sort the spine of our team out. We've sorted the defence out. We've gone and got last season's 2 best progressive ball carrying, passing, defending defenders in the league, haven't we? We went out and got JP from Brighton, and we got Senesi on a free. And those 2 shit on and dunk on Romero 10 times over. I'm not going to put.
Agreed. And as you're talking about World Cups and Romero, it's funny how my man decides to play well for Argentina. Really, it's as if my man was waiting all season for that World Cup.
He's got another injury again.
Has he?
Yeah. Just the other night, didn't he? Bless him. I want Romero gone. Bad eggs. I want all the bad eggs gone.
All the bad eggs. I want Vicario gone, and you know I was a Vicario fan when we first got him because how well he
Agreed.
and now
I heard reports about him. I heard that Juventus turned him down. There was talk of him going to Juventus, Vicario, and I heard that the talks didn't go too well.
They looked at that game against Fulham.
I heard it didn't go too well for Vicario.
Do you know what? He's the Italian David James. Oh my God, he's the Italian David James. Calamity.
You know what? Do you know what? I've always said it. I didn't watch Tottenham for the last majority of last season, but there was some moments I watched with this guy in goal, and they were comical, man. The way he would come out, and as a defender, you need to have some assurances, about your goalkeeper, and that you've got a steady goalkeeper behind you, because if you need to have that in the back of your mind, that he's the last line of defense. Mm-hmm. So you need to have a solid goalkeeper. But when your goalkeeper's erratic, and that's what I saw with at some stage with Vicario, I was like, whoa.
He's not going to be
right.
He's the old-fashioned goalkeeper. He just wants to stand in and around his 6-yard line and on his line itself. He's the old-fashioned goalkeeper, whereas modern goalkeepers now need to be outfield players technically as well. They need to be able to pass. They need to be able to get themselves out of trouble. Excuse me, and they need to be solid in goal. And there's not many top goalkeepers that are like that right now. I mean, Neuer is still, for me, the best goalkeeper in Europe, and everyone keeps on saying there's a certain Belgian goalkeeper that plays at Real Madrid, blah, blah, blah. Neuer's better.
Yeah, I know.
Neuer's better, and it's always been better than him. So, and then when you're looking our league, you've got what? Pickford, if you put him in another club that does well, he'll do well because the defence in front of him is awful and he's a top quality. I would take Pickford at Tottenham. That's how much I rate Pickford as a goalkeeper. Because when he plays for England, there isn't that many mistakes in his game. When he plays for Everton, there isn't that many mistakes in his game. But when I look at, Dubravka's a solid goalkeeper, but 37, they normally say you're coming into your prime around 32 to 36, while he's now 37. We're only getting him because it's free, so we can kick the can down the road for next year. But it's just awful. What we're talking about, it's turned into a Tottenham stream, ladies and gentlemen. It was the World Cup, but yeah,
it was the World Cup we're talking about,
Yeah, when we were going in for JP at Brighton, I was like, yes, straight away, yes. And someone said to me, "Oh, doesn't it bother you that he plays for Brighton?" I was like, the same Brighton that stayed in the league for the last 10 years and not struggled. Sure. Like when Brighton scout a player, they know what they're fucking doing.
It's their Brighton, who made it into European qualifications, by the way. And this is why you don't listen to people who put down other teams, because a lot of other teams they've built what they've had to build. They've built their structure. They know the way they're going to play. They bring in a manager who executes the way they want to play, and so each player is bought with a strategy in mind.
Do you want to know what it is?
And this is why.
Do you want to know what it is about Brighton and the owner, Tony Bloom? He's put his own fucking money in the club, generated money, and is successful at doing it. So, not bad from a guy that playing poker, right?
No, but the thing is, right, you would think money comes to money, innit? The more you invest in the football club, the more money that you'll get out of it. That's the big that people don't understand. Business work like that.
This in the last year, outside the Amex, they built a fan park, so they're actually selling tickets for you to go and watch the World Cup there when England are playing. Or
wow,
they're only charging £20 a ticket, and you get one free drink when you go in, and the drinks are cheap anyway.
Wow!
So they're doing quite all right down there at Brighton doing that. If I didn't have my kid at the weekend, I'd probably go to watch the England game at the fan park, but.
Oh wow!
But they're spending huge money regenerating that whole stadium as well. I know they want to add more seats to that stadium. I don't know how they're going to get it in there. They're also going to limit the amount of away fans that are going to be allowed to go next season, because the South Stand was literally right. You can have your 5,000-6,000 and you can make your noise. Now they're going to stick them up in the southeast corner and make it all Brighton, and then get this little corner over here for away fans that holds about 300. So away fans next year going to Brighton, you best hope you get your ticket. But yeah, Tony Bloom has put a lot of money into that club. He's built a whole new training centre out in Waterhall in the last 10 years. Brighton are coming up with some very, very good young player. Young Hinchelwood, I'd have at Tottenham. That's how much I rate Jack Hinchelwood. He is levels above Archie Gray. Levels above Archie Gray. Levels above
I'm the Hinklewood. Do you know who else I'd like?
A block of cheese.
Do you know who else I'd like? I'm going to say this, Corey, because it is actually favourable. It's the World Cup, and it actually ties in the World Cup and Tottenham Hotspurs. Right? I would take Verbruggen from you. I like Verbruggen.
But then
as a goalkeeper.
you would upset my nephew if we had Verbruggen at Tottenham. You'd upset my nephew. That's his hero because he wants to be a goalkeeper like his uncle. So yeah,
but when you watch Verbruggen in goal, and with the do you know what? Yeah, it would make sense here with the likes of Van de Ven and with the likes of JP Van Heck here, right? And then you've got Simmons as well.
We're building.
And then let's talk about Cody. There you go. You got a Dutch contingent now, ain't you? And so it would make sense to bring in someone like Verbruggen on one side, as the goalkeeper.
We had the two best Belgium defenders for about 7 or 8 years, so why not go and get the two
best
Dutch defenders and midfielders?
Agreed.
I wouldn't mind Cody Gakpo, but at the same time, I want Tonali, I want Savio, I want this player, I want that player.
Agreed. But then agreed. I agree with you. I would love to have those players, but I'm looking at the team, and I'm thinking we had a Belgian contingent for quite a long time, when you think of Jan and Toby, and how they built their understanding together, not just at Tottenham Hotspurs, but international scene, and through their playing careers, and it done them a power of good because they know each other on and off the pitch, and it's the same with them with Nasser Chadli as well, and it was 4 of them. With Nasser Chadli and Moussa Dembele. So the 4 of them, knew each other not just at Spurs, but international stage.
Where's our Dembele?
Now, I feel like we have that.
Where's our Dembele? Yeah. Where is he? Has he got any kids we could put in the youth team? Moussa, you got any kids? They're coming from Rostock, mate. They're going to be very good players.
but right now, right. When you look at the start of the Dutch contingent we have, you've got Hector, you've got Van de Ven, you've got David Simmons. We're looking at Serencio Somerville, that was a fantastic goal. That goal scored against Sweden the other night. That was one shot.
I don't know about him. I think it's just because of that he played for West Ham card. I'm like, oh. But then I could be saying that about Fernandez, but Fernandez is quality. So someone said to me the other day, why you didn't have Jadon Bowen at Tottenham? Well, not when he doesn't want to leave West Ham. Plus the fact Mr. Dyer would have his head on a block if he left West Ham.
True, especially if you went to Tottenham. But what I was going to say is that Tottenham do have a history of buying West Ham players who are relegated and them not doing too badly, my friend. When you look at the likes of Jermaine Defoe back in the day, we bought him from West Ham. The likes of Michael Carrick, who came from West Ham to Tottenham Hotspurs, they didn't do too badly. So I wouldn't mind picking up Serencio Somerville because he is levels above what we have on the width right now. Corey, I'll take you on the width on the left-hand side right now.
West Ham Academy before he went to Leeds.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Lampard,
they've always had a good academy.
Lampard, Joe Cole, Jermaine Defoe, John Terry went through. Carrick. Oh, fucking hell. Who else has gone through that youth academy that I'm sitting here thinking about now? Obviously, Ferdinand, John Terry, Carrick, Defoe. I'm missing someone. It's going to irritate me now. I'm missing somebody off that list. No, I'll have to look at my list of...
I think Ince make it through. Ince go through that academy as well because I know there was talk about Paul Ince here when he went to Man United. They were vexed about it. I'm sure that he come from West Ham's academy, but I'm not sure. But I may be wrong on that because I know there was massive backlash here when West Ham sold him to Man United back in the day.
I mean,
so he might be well below those
academies that used to do it back in the day. Were West Ham, were Leeds United, Man United. But now it's like roles are reversed. It seems to be Arsenal seem to be coming up with really good young players. In the last 5 to 10 years, they have. I mean, they've got that 16-year-old kid that looks pretty good and should be in an England shirt at any point if we're going to be that.
Yeah, Lewis. Max Dowman, you know.
Elman, he should be in an England shirt playing for England.
You've got Lewis Kelly coming through. You've got Nazweri coming through. Yeah, I agree with you with Arsenal and Man City, by the way, because Man City is just a never-ending.
Man City just find them. I mean, I think they've taken Man United's youth academy over and just put Man City out and then a blue badge over what used to be there in old Suffolk, right? So I just got to laugh at like teams that used to have really good youth academies now seem to be struggling to find a good youth kid. I mean, like I said, Man United used to churn out players all the time. West Ham do it every season. If it wasn't Lampard, it was Joe Cole. If it wasn't Joe Cole, it was John Terry. You know what I mean? They always turned them over, and then that's to go. Joe Cole and John Terry end up at Chelsea. Defoe ended up with us. Carrick ended up with us. Then he ended up at Man U. Fucking bastard.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, just like
and you know what? And to Alex Ferguson said he was one of the best signings he made. And it was Michael Carrick. And
Carrick,
I think he went for 20 million.
Michael Carrick
was
what a midfield that was. You obviously had Beckham and Giggs out on the wing when it used to be 4-4-2. There was no inverted wingers, wing backs, this, that, and the others. You're a defender. You're a midfielder. Go play football. Oh man. And then someone said to me,
I grew up with Dennis Irwin, man. Dennis Irwin, I would say it was a wing back before he was a wing back. That's how good he was. He was primarily a right back.
Stephen Carr, he was a wing back before.
He was before Stephen Carr. Dennis Irwin. Yeah, Dennis Irwin was the quintessential right. It was a wing back.
I was giving you another one that I used to like. I
agree.
Stephen Carr. He was a tasty player.
No. I didn't. I'm not dismissing you, but I'm looking at
that Leeds player.
I was starting with
that Leeds player. He always used to take the free kicks. Ian Hart.
Yeah.
That player.
Fantastic.
Bazooka Viduka. Alan Smith. I'll never join Man United.
We were talking about Australian players before in the group chat the other day. Actually, I was talking about Mark Brosnich and his days at Aston Villa before going to Man United.
My pretty crack comment: how many decent Australian players apart from I give like the three that I really liked, and then I forgot about others that there was the bearded one.
Yeah.
He was not too bad. Schwarzer in goal.
Yeah.
Tim Cahill, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's been a few of them has come through the Premier League. Let's just say that. And while they're not impressing at this World Cup, Aaron Irakunde, who's actually at Watford, funny enough, all right, I don't really see them standing out in this tournament, to be fair. But like I said, I'd love to be proven wrong with these nations, man. And this is the surprising aspect of the World Cup because no one expected Cape Verde to come in there and get a draw against one of the big nations. No one expected. Exactly. No one expected DR Congo to go and get a draw against Portugal, and actually looked a better team. Actually, to be fair, in that game, because I believe they had more of the chances. And Wissa, he scored the goal, but I believe they caused Portugal all kinds of, especially in the second half, it caused them all kinds of trouble in the second half.
Yeah,
but like you said,
England's route into it wasn't two South African or two South American teams. It could be Cameroon, who have bloody changed their freaking name in the World Cup to something long and absolutely unforgettable. Sorry, you're Cameroon, you deal with it. I'm too old to let countries change names. But you're like Bosnia and Herz, and they used to just be one thing.
Yeah. I remember the Bosnia.
And I just
do you know who
Cameroon are like this really long name, and they're like, oh, there's Cameroon somewhere in there. I mean. But yeah, I mean,
but what were you saying earlier?
Cameroon.
You said Belgium, was the most disappointing team in the World Cup for you, yeah? I'm going to take it one bit further, and I'm going to say the disappointing team in the World Cup for me was Turkey.
Well, yeah,
I thought Turkey in the last Euros. They actually had a strong representation, and Arda Güler I was looking forward to in this tournament because the way that he captured the last Euros, you could see by the fan reaction there, the whole of the stadium got up and they were screaming Arda Güler. This tournament, they've been left wanting, and their front strike, their central striker is non-existent.
I Turkey, it's because they've got two very good players, and the rest of the squad are, yeah,
Yeah,
Whereas Belgium, they have got De Bruyne, they've got the battering ram up front when he comes on. I call him the battering ram because I don't want to call him by his real name.
Lukaku.
Runs through Lukaku and always scores it. Just push goal. That's Lukaku's MO, wasn't it? His modus operandum. Just barge out of the way, stick it in the net. Old-fashioned striker. I just look at Belgium. I'm like, you've got De Bruyne. I'm sitting there like really looking at their team sheet, and I'm like, aging past it. Not
agreed.
Turkey, like you said, Turkey have been disappointing, but like I said, they've got two very, very top players playing in really good leagues.
Yeah.
The rest of the contingent of their players are picked up from either the Turkish league, which isn't the greatest in world football. I think it's ranked like 31st or 32nd, but it's still
Galatasaray.
I'm talking about like where the clubs or the countries sit with their.
No. You're right.
Whereas Scotland, Scottish league sit like 39th, so they're like behind things like Greece and Turkey, and you're like, come on, Scotland! I thought you're supposed to be good. There's a reason why
I'll make you right. But what I'm saying, is I agree with you. Other than Yildiz, and Arda Güler, yes, their team is made up of players who play for Fenerbahce or Galatasaray. But you would have still thought Galatasaray is still playing in Europe, major European competition. They're still representative. You've still got some players playing at a decent level. But for me, they've come to this tournament and they're like, maybe I had too much expectations on them because I looked at them and I thought you would have a good representation, especially if you and
I thought, Turkey would be second, but I'm a bit disappointed at Turkey, but not as much as I am as Belgium because of the quality players that they have. I know most of them are aging and some of them are past it now, but they've still got. What's that? There's a really good centre back that plays in France. Oh God, what's his name at Belgium? It's gonna wind me up now. Oh no, the names skip me completely.
Oh, is it for? Oh gosh, it's not for Marseille, is it?
I think it's the Marseille centre back. I'm just trying to remember his name because I watch him quite a lot. Oh, I've got to try and bloody remember his name now. It's going to wind me up. Arthur Tate, that guy.
Fete. Yeah.
He's a quality centre back, and I mean, when I look at the Belgian team as a whole, like the Belgian squad for the World Cup, I'm just going to quickly look it up. I know Arthur Tete is in there. They got their stellar goalkeeper in there. The one everyone seems to think.
You have my man, Miss Rihanna in there as well, Nana. You have him in there in central midfield, and you also got Tillemans in there as well. The Aston Villa. So you got the midfield of Aston Villa, the midfield duo of Aston Villa in there, which I do like. By the way,
when you look at the Belgium defence, they've got Castagna, who's a really good player. They've got Zeno Diaz, really good. Obviously, Tete, he's phenomenal. I'd have him in a Tottenham shirt. Thomas Meunier's not too bad. Then you look at their midfield and it's just aging, or Yuri Tillemans, Axel Witsel is still playing for Belgium at 38.
Oh my word! How is he still here? How many World Cups has this man played?
It feels like he's been around forever. This guy, it just doesn't seem to lose it. But how is he still playing? Banana and Tillemans, fantastic. De Bruyne, I know he's getting past it, but he's still one of Belgium's better players.
Agreed.
And then obviously you've got Trossard, Doku, who Jeremy Doku. I mean, that guy is rapid.
Agreed.
Who I call him battering ram because he just runs into player. You got Selemeska, who isn't a bad player. I'm surprised. I know the cat's only 17, but I'm surprised how he didn't make or get a spot in the Belgian World Cup team, because I look at some of that midfield and I'm like, Axel Witzel's 38 going on 39. I'd rather have a cat.
Do not tell me do not tell me Axel Witsel still has his Afro puff hairstyle, man. Oh my god, I remember him as a growing up. You know who you actually give him running for? Right, this man has been around there since the days of. Do you remember Fellaini, who used to play for Man United?
Manuel Fellaini.
Both of them, yeah.
That haircut.
Both of them, yeah, both of them. This should be like, which one has the biggest afro, yeah? Marouane Fellaini, yeah, or Axel Witsel? That's how bad it was at one stage with Axel Witsel. And I wonder now, yeah, if he still has it at his age. But fair play to the man, yeah. The man is still soldiering good. This man does not seem like he's. I'm not even going to try to say anything else because I don't want people to say anything bad about him, but he seems to be a rapper.
He's found the fountain. Yeah. He's found the eternal youth spring. He's come out of the Lazarus pit. The guy doesn't age.
He doesn't age.
I'm in my thoughts. Crow's feet, wrinkles.
The weird thing is here, right? Even in his older age, the man has gone to play for Borussia Dortmund, and Atletico Madrid, So my word, that man does not age, and plays for some big teams here, even at his age that he is now. So fair play to Axel Witsel, man. But for me, I would have had him in the tournament.
Not a bad career if you think about it. Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid. Not shabby, not a shabby career.
Right, there you go. And that's in his later career. But do you know who else surprised me in this tournament? Right, and I know there was a lot of talk about Haaland, obviously, and
the guy who needs playing for Norway should be playing for England. Yeah, that guy.
That's the one. Yeah, and Odegaard, obviously, Arsenal's winning captain. But you've got Ausnes, you've got Wolf, you've got Peter Berg, who I think at Tottenham Hotspur to control the midfield because Peter Berg is a fantastic player. Right, you've got JP Hauer as well. But you've got a team in that Norway team who play and they're in France's group and they've won their two fixtures, which obviously when you look on paper you would think they would, but they've done it convincingly. And now the next game is them versus France. Now I want to see how Norway is set up in that game, because I feel they'll go defensive and try to hit France with the counter. That's how I see it. But that will be an interesting game. But Norway, for me, will come through a second group, and I don't know who they play in the next round, but that will be an interesting match as well. They play in the next group.
Norway won on Tuesday, didn't they?
Yeah, they won 4-2, innit? Yeah, they won 4-2 against
Senegal. I was like, that. Yes, this is great. This is a really good match.
Well, England does that to people, man. You just watch England, bro. It just knocks you out. You know what I mean? I was surprised that you didn't fall asleep at the thing the other day, mate. That's how boring. That's how. Like I said, I'd rather go on the train ride for 2 hours.
Drinking at the barbecue to worry about England playing.
Well, the host was fantastic.
Very big bottle of Jack Daniels quickly. Didn't touch the sides. Now I drunk 8 ciders. Didn't touch the sides. I'm like, I know I'm a big guy, but come on, I should be feeling something right about now. Then we got to like later on in the evening, and like we're sitting there. Sab was like, "Oh, I've got this 98% proof stuff. Oh yeah, this will get people drunk." I went, "Go on then." Lined up a shot, went bang, knocked it back. He goes, "Do you feel nothing?" I went, "Nah." Like the others took shots, and they're like, I was like, "Go to Ireland to get me some poutine." You know, that stuff has a minimum proof of like 110% proof. It's like battery acid from not apples, from potatoes. So yeah, go get some poutine and come back to me. But yeah, that was a good laugh actually. The barbecue.
Yeah, it was a very good day, and like I said, we got to see England together, and we enjoyed it. So
enjoyed England watching in a friendly lose. That's always good.
Yeah, you know that much there. It's good to see people come down to earth, you know. But Corey, we're going to end the show with that, and thank you for joining us tonight. And we should be doing another show at hopefully next week, where we're going to talk about the teams that when they finally made it through the last set of group matches. We're going to talk about them more. We're going to talk about possible matches in the second round of qualification, in the second round of the knockout phase, and possible and possible ties that could lead on to that. And Corey, would you like to say anything before we leave, mate?
Rubber dub dub. I'm getting in the tub. It's too hot to be sitting here talking more about Scrubs.
All right then. And I'm going to say thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you soon, like next week. And Sportcentric out. Bless.
And see.
End the stream, Dave. Give me a sec. It's a bit hot. It's a bit hot, man. I hope the phone doesn't overheat.
I want to take my t-shirt off.
I know. And 3, 2, 1. End the stream, Dave. Come on.